Well, hello. Welcome back to my occasional vlog. It's the 1st of December today, and it's been, I think, about a month since I last vlogged. So I thought I'd update you on all the new things that are going on. Last time I updated you about the Pax Britannia releases. We had Dark Side came out, which has started to receive some very nice reviews, and the Ulysses Quicksilver Omnibus, and likewise that's been getting some good feedback. So yeah, I thought it was time for another update, really. If I start with the new releases since I saw you last, there's this one, M is for Monster, which is an anthology of horror short stories. It's an idea of John Prescott, his name is down the bottom, American horror writer, and he got 26 authors from around the world to contribute a story for each letter of the alphabet about particular monsters. By the time I got on board, there weren't many letters left. So I had to think of something for I, but I'm quite pleased with the story that I came up with, which is called Incubus. So that's in there. You can get hold of that through this website, actually. If you want to email me your details, I'll put the email address at the end of this message, and then you can get in touch. And if you'd like to buy one, and of course I'll sign it for you. Although I should stress it's definitely 18 rated. Despite the title, which has confused a few people, it's not one for the kiddies. Sorry. Right, what else can I tell you about? Oh, Scottish Miscellany. This is, if I do it over there, latest one. There we go, from Skyhorse Publishing. They did the American edition of my book, What Is Mer Anyway? Christmas Miscellany, and it's very attractive looking, similar sort of style. We've got full colour throughout, hardback. So there we go, all sorts of pictures. I think it looks like some porridge and Mary Queen of Scots there. Answers all the questions you never knew you had about Scotland the Brave, including a few you didn't know you had. Actually, it got a mention in the press this week as well, or last weekend. There we are, the Sunday Post. And here's my bit. There we go. Slightly controversial, possibly. Jonathan loves busting Scots myths, and it goes in a similar vein. Don't quite remember saying everything that's quoted in there, but anyway, it gets some exposure, so that's no bad thing. And again, you can get hold of that book via the store, my Amazon store, and there's a link to that from my website, www.jonathangreenauthor.com. Okay, what else can I tell you? Oh yeah, current workload. I'm ploughing through Anno Frankenstein at the moment, which is the 7th Ulysses Quicksilver novel. Starting to really enjoy this one. It's always a struggle with a new book, getting into the plot, getting into the characters, but I've got to a scene at the moment which I've been dying to write ever since I had the first idea for the book. I won't give any more away here, but the whole thing is a bit Where Eagles Dare crossed with Dirty Dozen, Frankenstein obviously, Valkyrie, and a bit of the Terminator thrown in too. So hopefully fans of the series will enjoy that, whilst also it's slightly different to the usual steampunk Victorian setting. I'm also working on a brand new Spring Hill Jack short story, and I think that's going to go out, at least part of it, to give you a taster before Christmas, because it has a slightly festive setting. I won't give any more away, and it's currently going by the name of Favoured Son, but we'll have to see if that sticks by the time it actually sees print. What else have I been up to? Oh yeah, last weekend I was lucky enough to go to a preview screening of the new Ultramarines movie, the first proper Warhammer 40k movie, and it was shown on the big screen. It looked amazing. So well done to Dan Abnett and all the team at Codex Pictures. I went along with James Swallow, actually, another Black Library writer. We had a great time. Oh yeah, and you should also keep an eye on my new Christmas blog. I've tried to combine all my Christmassy bits of information into the one blog. It's thechristmologist.com. Again, I'll put the address at the end of this message. And I'm going to be updating that on a daily basis as it's December. So you can think of that as like an online advent calendar with some tasty morsel for you to enjoy each and every day. Oh yeah, and now various people have started emailing me, which is brilliant. I put an email address on my various websites, blogs and things, and they've been getting in touch. If you have a question about my writing or upcoming projects or anything pretty much, then I'll try and answer them through these vlogs. So the first one is actually a message from Matt. Hi Matt. He's a long-time friend of this blog. Done me a few favours in the past. Anyway, Matt says, "Hi John, what would it take for you to sign some of my books? I mean, apart from me turning up at a signing event because they're nearly always in the south, because that's where I live, sorry. Of course, I have my What Is Mer anyway, signed by you, but I'm particularly interested in getting the Fighting Fancy book signed. I have about 10. Good question. Maybe we need to arrange some sort of convention for fans of all things Fighting Fantasy and Pax Britannia and occasional non-fiction miscellanies, or maybe not. I'll keep thinking about that one. Right, next question. This is from Jeremy Haupt. Hope I've got that right. And he's from Cambridge, Massachusetts. So hello. And he says, Dear Mr. Green, very formal. I'm an American Fighting Fantasy fan from the mid-1980s and love the series very dearly. I would have never believed that Bloodbones, let alone Stormslayer and Night of the Necromancer, would actually get published. Bravo, and thank you for your hard work. Oh, pleasure. I did want to write and ask if you'll be writing any new FF books anytime soon. I think FF readers would love to know. Thank you very much for your contribution to the series. Well, because I love the Fighting Fantasy series. I was a fan myself. I was the target demographic, I think, when they first came out in '82. And I've never fallen out of love with them, really. I love writing them. At the moment, I'm not. But that's not to say I won't be in the future. I know at the moment, well, I think, I'm not an employee of Icon Books, who own Wizard Books Imprint, that produces the Fighting Fantasy books these days. But I think they're focusing on reissuing the back catalogue. I know that February next year, I think it's February, we've got Curse of the Mummy and Forest of Fear coming out. And in April, it's Armies of Death and Appointment with Fear. After that, I don't know. But as soon as I know anything, and as soon as I can tell you anything, I will let you know. Obviously, I've got my fingers crossed that there are some more releases in the future. And last question here from Andy Redfern. He says, Hi, sorry for the email. That's fine. But I'm a massive, massive Fighting Fantasy fan. I've got all your books, thank you. And I'm well aware you likely can't give specifics for obvious reasons, but all I really want to know is, do you think you'll be working on any more Fighting Fantasy books in the future? The last few, Necromancer especially, were absolutely brilliant, with incredible creatures and choices. I know the reissues are set for Feb, but do you think you'll do any more new books? As I said, I hope so. I'd love to. That's very kind what you said about my books, and I did enjoy Necromancer. It's one I'd had an idea for a while. But yeah, it's been very well received, which is always nice. Any more new books? Well, now the big date coming up is 2012. Not because of the Olympics, but it'll be Fighting Fantasy's 30th anniversary. And I know that Wizard are thinking about that quite carefully. As to what they have planned, I don't know yet. But yeah, fingers crossed. And that's the end of the questions. So I think that's me done for today. And I'll see you next time.